he's not going to the individual liberties that you can do whatever you want when you have liberty, but the problem is when some powerful people are winning with this speech, that they are trying to get support from part of the population, and they are trying to make this population think that they are not strong enough to do what they want, but they need this kind of organization to be powerful. He again tried to give the people a message of you have your individual rights, but you don't need these organizations to tell you that you have that right. I think he's not going against the gay, but he's going he's appealing to this organization that goes with this speech that only makes them have more power.
Buy my novel, Escape from the Village, from major booksellers online. Go to escapevillage.com. Subscribe to the Substack. Go to fountainheadforum.substack.com. Support the forum. Go to buymeacoffee.com/fountainheadforum. Thank you. Hey, welcome to the party, pal. This is Fountainhead Forum 276, and this is also going to be the 68th edition of the Javier Milei Show. And coming back for the fourth time is Maria Lobo Murga, who is an economist in Buenos Aires, and we're going to watch Milei's speech to the World Economic Forum, where he made some comments about gays, transgender people, and others. But it was. This is definitely some people have not had a positive reaction to this, but we got 30 minutes here, so we're going to see what we can say about this speech, because I've watched it with subtitles, but now I have somebody who knows the language, and we'll see what Maria has to say. How are you, Maria?
Hi, Chris. Very good. And yes, it's a very interesting what Milei said. It is very interesting what Milei said in Davos. So let's see that.
In Davos, yeah. So let's go now. I've got the whole thing ready to go, and we will present this, and this should be a very good speech. I just love to analyze Milei's speeches because it just tells you a lot about how he motivates people and gets them excited. So,
yes, that's right.
He's walking out with a glass. Also, this is on the Oficina del Presidente Argentina channel, so they upload all of Milei's speeches. Looks like they upload all the speeches from all the presidents, because they've got some stuff from Fernandez there too. And the nice thing is they don't have commercials in them. So here we go. Oh, and he puts the glasses on.
Buenos días a todos. ¿Cuánto ha cambiado en tan poco tiempo? Hace un año me paré aquí frente a ustedes en soledad y dije algunas verdades sobre el estado del mundo occidental que fueron recibidas con cierta sorpresa y estupor por buena parte del establishment político, económico y mediático de Occidente. Y debo reconocer que en algún sentido lo comprendo. Un presidente de un país que, producto del fracaso económico sistemático por más de 100 años, producto de haber tomado posturas pusilánimes en los grandes conflictos globales y producto de habernos cerrado al comercio, había perdido prácticamente toda relevancia internacional con el correr de los años. Un presidente de ese país se para en este estrado y le dice al mundo entero que están equivocados, que se dirigen al fracaso, que Occidente se ha desviado y que debe ser reencauzado. Un presidente de ese país, Argentina, que no era político, que no tenía apoyo legislativo, que no tenía apoyo de gobernadores, ni de empresarios, ni de grupos mediáticos. En ese discurso, aquí, parado frente a ustedes, Les dije que era el comienzo de una nueva Argentina, que Argentina había estado infectada de socialismo por demasiado tiempo y que con nosotros iba a volver a abrazar las ideas de la libertad, un modelo que nosotros resumimos en la defensa de la vida, la libertad y la propiedad privada. Y también les dije que, en algún sentido, la Argentina era el fantasma de las Navidades futuras de Occidente, porque ya habíamos vivido todo lo que ustedes...
Oh, he's talking about what's happened in the last 2 years.
Yes. The last year, when he was just president of Argentina, he spoke in Davos, and the most important thing there was that he go through all the establishment and all the people that was there, telling them that they are doing wrong. They are doing wrong on their government, on their business, and they were going to crash as Argentina has done it in the last years. So in this first part of Milei's speech, he's telling the people that he's again in the same place in Davos, telling them that what he told them the last year was true, and in that moment he didn't have the support from the people or from the government or from the legislative part of the government, and now he's in a different place and he can show what he has done in Argentina in the last year. And he starts in that way, so then he can tell the people and tell the businessmen and the government, the people from the governments that are there, that they can learn from what is going on in Argentina.
Yeah, he's definitely going over last year's. You know, I'll also notice the Ghost of Christmas Future of the West. Do you know the Ghost of Christmas Future? Do you know that story?
No, I don't know.
It was an English, that comes from an English story written by Charles Dickens. It's called A Christmas Carol. The character's named Ebenezer Scrooge, and he really hates Christmas. So he when he goes to sleep,
like the Grinch, the film, The Grinch.
Yeah, he's also very much a man who keeps all his money and he doesn't give to charity. So he gets visited by the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas in the future. And so it's kind of a nightmare. But then he wakes up and has all these feelings that, you know. For example, he sees that he dies and nobody cares, and he sees that he used to be happy but isn't happy, and then he sees how the people around him are enjoying Christmas.
I know that story.
Okay,
yes.
And I wasn't sure yet.
Yes.
I don't know how.
He's telling about that there are some similarities what is happening in Argentina, what he's telling the people from Davos and from all the world.
Yes, okay, so.
Estaban viviendo y ya sabíamos cómo terminaba. Un año después, debo decir que ya no me siento tan solo. No me siento tan solo porque el mundo ha abrazado a la Argentina. Argentina se ha convertido en ejemplo mundial de responsabilidad fiscal, de compromiso con nuestras obligaciones, de cómo terminar con el problema de la inflación, y también de una nueva forma de hacer política, que consiste en decirle la verdad a la gente en la cara y confiar en que la gente entenderá. Tampoco me siento solo porque a lo largo de este año he podido encontrar compañeros en esta pelea por las ideas de la libertad en todos los rincones del planeta. Desde el maravilloso Elon Musk hasta la feroz dama italiana, mi querida amiga Giorgia Meloni. Desde Bukele en El Salvador hasta Víctor Orbán en Hungría. Desde Benjamín Netanyahu en Israel hasta Donald Trump en Estados Unidos.
And he just mentioned, Benjamin Netanyahu in Israel, which I don't agree with. Giorgia Meloni in Italy.
It's very important what he's telling now, because I remember last year I was in Arizona. I was with Liberty International scholarships there, and we talked a lot about liberty. Javier Milei was winning the elections in Argentina. He was becoming president, and in the world we didn't see that there were leaders that talk about liberty. You know, that there were some people that do some stuff similar to liberty, but we only have foundations, organizations that talk about liberty, but we didn't have really states that were going for the liberty values. And when Javier Milei went to Davos last year, he was pretty alone in the world talking about this stuff. And now there are some presidents and some leaders from different states that are having the same speech that he's having now. And that is very important for the people that really wants to change what is happening in Western society.
Yeah, I don't know how much they agree with him, but yes, it's he mentioned Viktor Orban, Georgia in Hungary, Giorgia Meloni in Italy, Nayib Bukele in El Salvador, and of course Trump. Although there are differences. The fact that he's so when people see somebody who's really courageous, they get more courageous too, though, and that seems to be what's happening here.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's keep going here. Yeah.
Alianza internacional de todas aquellas naciones que queremos ser libres y que creemos en las ideas de la libertad. Y lentamente, lo que parecía una hegemonía absoluta a nivel global de la izquierda woke, en la política, en las instituciones educativas, en los medios de comunicación, en organismos supranacionales o en foros como Davos, se ha ido desquebrajando y se empieza a vislumbrar una esperanza para las ideas de la libertad. Hoy vengo aquí a decirles que nuestra batalla no está ganada, que si bien la esperanza ha renacido, es nuestro deber moral y nuestra responsabilidad histórica desmantelar el edificio ideológico del wokismo enfermizo. Hasta que no hayamos logrado reconstruir nuestra catedral histórica, hasta que no logremos que la mayoría de los países de Occidente vuelvan a abrazar las ideas de la libertad, hasta que nuestras ideas no sean la moneda común de los pasillos de eventos como este, no podremos bajar los brazos. Porque, debo decir, foros como este han sido protagonistas y promotores de la agenda siniestra del wokismo que tanto daño le está haciendo a Occidente. Si queremos cambiar, si queremos verdaderamente defender...
It's calling out the World Economic Forum for promoting wokeism. Yes.
Yes, here he start telling the people about the different rights and values that society has lost in the last years, because there are organizations, governments, and states that are winning with this woke agenda, promoting the different ideas that are not really good for people, but empower more some governments and some business and some different organizations. And he says that they are not for the people, they are not good for the people, but they are good for this business or this government that try to have all the power.
Yes. Okay.
Ciudadanos, primero tenemos que empezar por decirles la verdad. Y la verdad es que hay algo profundamente equivocado en las ideas que se han estado promoviendo desde foros como este. Y me gustaría tomarme unos minutos desde este día para discutir algunas de ellas. Hoy, pocas personas niegan que soplan vientos de cambio en Occidente. Están quienes se resisten al cambio. Están quienes lo aceptan a regañadientes, pero lo aceptan al fin. Están los nuevos conversos, que parecen cuando lo ven como inevitable. Y por último estamos quienes hemos luchado toda una vida por su advenimiento. Cada uno de ustedes sabrá en qué grupo se reconoce. Seguramente haya un poco de cada uno en este auditorio, pero todos reconocerán seguramente que el tiempo de cambio está tocando la puerta. Los momentos de cambio histórico tienen una particularidad. Son tiempos donde las fórmulas que estuvieron vigentes por décadas se agotan. Las maneras consideradas únicas de hacer las cosas dejan de tener sentido. Y lo que para muchos eran verdades incuestionables son finalmente puestas en duda. Son momentos donde las reglas se reescriben y por eso son tiempos que recompensan a quienes tienen el coraje para tomar riesgos. Pero buena parte del mundo libre aún prefiere el confort de lo conocido, aunque sea el camino equivocado, e insiste en aplicar las recetas del fracaso. Y el gran yunque que aparece como denominador común en los países e instituciones que están fracasando es el virus mental de la ideología woke. Esta es la gran epidemia de nuestra época que debe ser curada. Es el cáncer que hay que extirpar. Esta ideología ha colonizado las instituciones más importantes del mundo, desde los partidos y estados de los países libres de Occidente, hasta las organizaciones de gobernanza global, pasando por instituciones no gubernamentales, universidades y medios de comunicación, como también ha marcado el pulso de la conversación global durante las últimas décadas. Hasta que no saquemos esta ideología aberrante de nuestra cultura, nuestras instituciones y nuestras leyes, la civilización occidental e incluso la especie humana no logrará retornar la senda del progreso que demanda nuestro espíritu pionero. Es indispensable romper estas cadenas ideológicas si queremos dar un paso a una nueva era dorada. Por eso, hoy quiero dedicarle unos minutos a destruir esas cadenas. Pero primero, hablemos de aquello por lo que estamos luchando. Occidente representa el pico de la especie humana, la tierra fértil de su herencia grecorromana y sus valores judeocristianos se plantaron las semillas de algo inédito en la historia.
Chris?
Tras imponerse de manera definitiva sobre la...
What?
I think it's very important what he has just said, because he's trying to tell people that there is that is very important to know what this ideology and these values are trying to convince people to see that they have the state have the power. The state has the power, and he's trying to make people know and make these businessmen know that in the future, this is not going to be the way of progressing and the way that people will have the liberty to make to progress in their countries. They are doing something that now is useful for them, but the countries aren't going to have aren't going to progress in the next 50 years, for example, because they are only thinking about now, about what the governments want and the governments need in this moment to empower this kind of people, the people that is now in the government, or the businessmen that are now having their business. And he's trying to say to the people that these values are going to make are going to make that Western societies are going to crash as Argentina does in the past. So they have to change these values and these ideologies, because they are doing the same that Argentina has done in the last years.
Certainly, yeah. It seems, yeah. He's talking a lot about what's happening, and certainly, so far he's mostly talking about the woke has captured all the institutions, and now he's coming out against that. So let's keep going here. It's and I like how he mentions, the Greco-Roman heritage, which of course is where, which is really the birth of civilization, the Greeks and then the Romans. So, yes.
Absolutismo. Una nueva era en la existencia humana. Dentro de ese nuevo marco moral y filosófico que ponía la libertad individual por encima del capricho del tirano, Occidente pudo dar rienda suelta a la capacidad creativa del hombre, dando inicio a un proceso de generación de riqueza nunca antes visto. Los datos hablan por sí solos. Hasta el año 1800, el PBI per cápita del mundo se mantuvo prácticamente constante. Sin embargo, a partir del siglo XIX y gracias a la revolución industrial, el PBI per cápita se multiplicó por 20, sacando de la pobreza al 90% de la población mundial, aun cuando la población se multiplicó por 8 veces. Esto solo fue posible gracias a una convergencia de valores fundamentales: el respeto a la vida, la libertad y la propiedad, que hicieron posible el libre comercio, la libertad de expresión, la libertad religiosa y el resto de los pilares de la civilización occidental. Sumado a esto, nuestro espíritu fáustico inventivo, explorador, pionero, que siempre está poniendo a prueba los límites de lo posible. Espíritu pionero que hoy se ve representado, entre otros, por mi querido amigo Elon Musk, que injustamente ha sido vilipendiado por el wokismo de las últimas horas por un inocente gesto que lo único que significa es su entusiasmo y gratitud con la gente.
I think that's the first time I've heard him mention Elon Musk in his speech. I know he's, and how Elon opposes some of the woke agenda, but also some of the people who are doing creative things like sending rockets to space.
Yes, he do it twice in his speech. So and he not only speak about Elon Musk, but about Trump, about Giorgia Meloni. He's speaking much about other leaders that he wants them to support him too.
But Musk does get a lot of corporate welfare too. We should point that out.
Yeah.
There's other people who certainly do it without the corporate welfare. Okay, yeah.
That's right. He's looking for more support, you know, when he speak about others. He's looking for more support.
Yes.
When he speak about others, other leaders.
Yeah, we need the people who are. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, well, one of the great examples from America was, Henry Ford, who, built the Ford car. And that's why it's still called. Yeah,
that's right. And Elon Musk and Trump are leading this change too. Yes. with Milei too.
Yes.
Inventamos el capitalismo a base de ahorro, inversión, trabajo, reinversión y trabajo duro. Logramos que cada trabajador pudiera multiplicar por 10, por 100 o, por qué no, hasta por 1000 su productividad, venciendo así a la trampa malthusiana. Sin embargo, en algún momento del siglo XX perdimos el rumbo y los principios liberales que nos habían hecho libres y prósperos fueron traicionados. Una nueva clase política, amparada por ideologías de corte colectivistas y aprovechando momentos de crisis, vio una oportunidad perfecta para acumular poder. Toda la riqueza creada por el capitalismo hasta ese momento y en el futuro sería redistribuida bajo algún esquema de planificación centralizada, donde el puntapié inicial a un proceso cuyas nefastas consecuencias estamos padeciendo hoy mismo. Impulsando una agenda socialista, pero insidiosamente operando dentro del paradigma liberal, esta nueva clase política desvirtuó los valores del liberalismo. Así, reemplazaron libertad por liberación, utilizando el poder coercitivo del Estado para distribuir la riqueza creada por el capitalismo. Su justificación fue la siniestra, injusta y dada por entramados teóricos marxistas del individuo de sus necesidades. Y en el fondo descentralizada, donde el puntapié inicial a un proceso cuyas nefastas consecuencias estamos padeciendo hoy mismo. Impulsando una agenda socialista.
What?
That there he starts with talking about Malthus, and for the people that doesn't know what is Malthus, told in the past told that when the population was going to grow more than the capacity of the land to feed that population. And when the Industrial Revolution comes, that makes that idea that Malthus told in the past change all the way of production, and that makes that all the people have all the food that we need. And what he's telling is that what Milei was telling is that all these ideas that Malthus told in the past, now some governments are trying to make something similar with the liberty and the liberalism, and they are trying to make the people think that all this progress has to be distributed by the government, and that the government is the one that is going to make justice for the poor people, and that there is not enough food, or there is not enough things and goods for all the people, so that we have the state has to distribute these goods and these resources that other the business obviously products make that products. The main thing that Milei wants to tell the people is that this socialism that Western is having in the government are trying to make the people think that they won't have what they need by themselves. They have to ask the state, and the state is going to make this distribution.
Yeah. We're referring to Thomas Malthus, the economist who wrote about population and demographics. And as Milei's pointed out many times, things were flat until 1800. Then we all got a lot richer. So let's keep going. Yeah.
Pero insidiosamente operando dentro del paradigma liberal, esta nueva clase política desvirtuó los valores del liberalismo. Así,
somehow the captions got turned off. I don't know what happened there.
Pasaron libertad por liberación, utilizando el poder coercitivo del Estado para distribuir la riqueza creada por el capitalismo. Su justificación fue la siniestra, injusta y aberrante idea de la justicia social, complementada por entramados teóricos marxistas cuyo fin era liberar al individuo de sus necesidades. Y en el fondo de este nuevo esquema de valores, la premisa fundamental de la que igualdad ante la ley no es suficiente, ya que existen injusticias de bases ocultas que deben ser rectificadas, lo cual representa una mina de oro para burócratas con aspiraciones de omnipotencia. En esto consiste fundamentalmente el wokismo. Es el resultado de la inversión de los valores occidentales. Cada uno de los pilares de nuestra civilización fue cambiado por una versión distorsionada de sí mismo, mediante la introducción de diversos mecanismos de subversión cultural. Pues de los derechos negativos a la vida, a la libertad y a la propiedad, pasamos a una cantidad artificialmente infinita de derechos positivos. Primero fue la educación, luego la vivienda y a partir de allí cosas irrisorias como el acceso a Internet, la televisación del fútbol, el teatro, los tratamientos estéticos y un sinfín más de deseos que se transformaron en derechos humanos fundamentales, derechos que por supuesto alguien tiene que pagar y que solo pueden ser garantizados mediante la expansión infinita del aberrante Estado. En otras palabras, del concepto de libertad como protección fundamental del individuo frente a la intervención del tirano, pasamos al concepto de liberación mediante la intervención del Estado. Sobre esta base fue construido el wokismo, un régimen de pensamiento único, sostenido por distintas instituciones, cuyo propósito es penalizar el disenso. Feminismo, diversidad, inclusión, equidad, inmigración, aborto, ecologismo, ideología de género, entre otros, son cabezas de una misma criatura cuyo fin es justificar el avance del Estado mediante la apropiación y distorsión de causas nobles. Veamos algunas. El feminismo radical es una distorsión del concepto de igualdad. y aún en su versión más benévola es redundante, ya que la igualdad ante la ley ya existe en Occidente. Todo lo demás es búsqueda de privilegios, que es lo que el feminismo radical realmente pretende, poniendo a una mitad de la población en contra de la otra cuando deberían estar del mismo lado. Llegamos incluso al punto de normalizar que en muchos países supuestamente civilizados, si uno mata a la mujer, se llama femicidio, y eso conlleva una pena más grave que si uno mata a un hombre solo por el sexo de la víctima, legalizando de hecho que la vida de una mujer.
Now he's talking about feminism and how apparently there was greater penalties for killing a woman as opposed to killing a man, and how this is dividing society.
Yes. I think that when we hear what he's telling there is we not only have to think about this point of the feminism and what is happening to justice, but the idea that socialism and this big state that has been created in the last decades are trying to make the most vulnerable people go support them, but they are not doing for the people. They are trying to make a distortion on the values of the society, only to have the support of part of the population of the society. Yes.
Enarbolando la bandera de la brecha salarial de género, pero cuando uno mira los datos es evidente que no hay desigualdad para una misma tarea, sino que la mayoría de los hombres tienden a profesiones mejor pagas que la mayoría de las mujeres. Sin embargo, no se quejan de que la mayoría de los presos son hombres, ni que la mayoría de los plomeros son hombres, ni que la mayoría de las víctimas de robo o asesinato son hombres, y ni que hablar de la mayoría de las personas que murieron en guerras. Pero si uno plantea estas cuestiones desde los medios de comunicación o incluso desde este foro, nos tildan de misóginos, solo por el hecho de defender un principio elemental de la democracia moderna y el Estado de Derecho, que es la igualdad ante la ley y los datos. El wokismo, además, se manifiesta en el siniestro ecologismo radical y la bandera del cambio climático. Conservar nuestro planeta para las futuras generaciones es cuestión de sentido común. Nadie quiere vivir en un basurero, pero nuevamente el wokismo se la arregló para pervertir esa idea elemental. De preservar el medio ambiente para el disfrute de los seres humanos, pasamos a un ambientalismo fanático donde los seres humanos somos un cáncer que debe ser eliminado y el desarrollo económico poco menos que un crimen contra la naturaleza. Sin embargo, cuando uno argumenta que la Tierra ha tenido ya sí.
He's now calling out environmentalism for being anti-human, basically.
Yes. And in that order, there are many organizations that gain a lot of money with this ambientalism speech.
Yes. Okay.
5 ciclos de cambios bruscos de temperatura y que en 4 de ellos el hombre ni existía, nos tildan de terraplanistas para desacreditar nuestras ideas, sin importar que la ciencia y los datos estén de nuestro lado. No es casualidad que estos mismos sean los principales promotores de la agenda sanguinaria y asesina del aborto, una agenda diseñada a partir de las premisas malthusianas de que la superpoblación va a destruir a la Tierra y por lo tanto debemos implementar algún mecanismo de control poblacional. De hecho, esto ha sido ya llevado tan al extremo que hoy en el planeta se está empezando a convertir en un problema la tasa de crecimiento de la población. Vaya tarea que se mandaron con estas aberraciones del aborto. Desde estos foros se promueve la agenda LGBT, queriendo imponernos que las mujeres son hombres.
Okay, here's where we're getting into he's talking about they're trying to, some people want to reduce the population and they're wanting to legalize abortion, and the LGBT agenda, which apparently is lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual agenda. So that's what he's talking about here. So this is what upset some people, including people that I consider very good libertarians who just happen to be gay. What do you think?
Yeah. I really don't like to talk about this, but I only go to the core of the speech of Milei. Milei, I don't think Milei is going against these people. Is not going against a gay or against a lesbian. He's trying to say that the most powerful and the government and this group of people and these organizations are trying to be more powerful with this speech. They are trying to make population think, to empower or to make more powerful their own organization by this kind of speech. He's not going to the individual liberties that you can do whatever you want when you have a liberty. But the problem is when some powerful people are winning with this speech, that they are trying to get support from part of the population, and they are trying to make this population think that they are not strong enough to do what they want, but they need this kind of organization to be powerful. He again tried to give the people a message of you have your individual rights, but you don't need these organizations to tell you that you have that right. I think he's not going against the gay, but he's going. He's appealing to this organization that goes with this speech that only makes them have more power.
That makes these organizations promoting agendas have more power?
Yes, I think that because these people go, these organizations try to have the more vulnerable people with them. They try to make them think that they don't have power by themselves. They need this organization to have power. That they need what this organization gives. Milei here is telling this organization, you are doing this because you want to be more power. You are not doing this for the people, and you are disturbing the most important values in the society. Telling that you have to kill babies, you have to go against life, you have to be trans, lesbian, or gay to have power because the vulnerable have more power, and you're disturbing what the normal values of the society are. You want to be gay, you can be gay, you can be lesbian, you can be whatever you want, and you are power, but you have power by yourself, and not because an organization gives you that power.
Okay, yeah, that's understand. What is the legal situation with all this in Argentina right now? I mean, can gay people live together or not, or
Yes, they can live together and they can get married.
Okay, so, but yes, there is a situation where I think some cases they're not just putting out things that are pro, saying you can do whatever you want in your bedroom. It's almost like they're trying to actively condemn the opposite, which I don't agree with. I mean,
yes,
I tolerate sports teams that I don't like, but that doesn't mean I want to end the sports teams because they play the sports teams that I do like. That's one analogy. You tolerate them, but that doesn't mean you have to love them. And it seems like there's this if we tolerate something, we have to love it. And I don't. Yeah, it's rather odd. So yeah, let's keep going here. So.
hombres y los hombres son mujeres solo si así se autoperciben. Y nada dicen de cuando un hombre se disfraza de mujer y mata a su rival en un ring de boxeo, o cuando un preso alega ser mujer y termina violando a cuanta mujer se le cruce por delante en la prisión. Sin ir más lejos, hace pocas semanas fue noticia en todo el mundo el caso de 2 americanos homosexuales que enarbolando la bandera de la...
This is true, though. This is happening in America right now, where people who are born males are going into prisons with women, and it's not a good thing. And
in Argentina, it's happening the same, and I think in other states that because they have they can change from men to women, they are doing bad in women prisons.
Yes, definitely. And this is the part I don't like at all. I don't know why he comes up and uses one example of somebody committing a crime, and therefore that means everybody's a criminal. I don't buy that at all. I think that's always troubling when you come up with one. I mean, I can come up with lots of stories.
That is happening, not homosexual, but men that wants to go to women prison, not only because they are going to violate, you say?
Yes.
Women, but because they have to do less things in that prison, or they have a different treatment in that prisons.
Yes.
So that's happening not only in the United States, but in Argentina and in other countries.
Yes, okay.
La diversidad sexual y fueron condenados a 100 años de prisión por abusar y filmar a sus hijos adoptivos durante más de 2 años.
But he's talking about one case where gays adopted kids, and there are plenty of gays who adopt kids who don't do anything abusive to kids. So this is, I mean, this bothers me. It just, when you take one bad example, it's, one person commits a murder. That doesn't mean that everybody's a murderer.
Yes, there are different way of looking this punctual, because he says this, but there are many people that think like Milei. So, but there are not much people telling this. This, yes, is something cultural. It's like a cultural fight, a cultural war that it's going on, and Milei is this side.
Yeah, you'll sometimes hear somebody say something that 10% of people said this. Well, if 10% said it, then 90% didn't. So the 10% doesn't. One example doesn't prove anything. This was not Milei's best speech, but we've got to get going here.
Años. Quiero ser claro que cuando digo abusos no es un eufemismo, porque en sus versiones más extremas la ideología de género constituye lisa y llanamente abuso infantil. Son pedófilos. Por lo tanto, quiero saber quién avala esos comportamientos. Están dañando irreversiblemente a niños sanos mediante tratamientos hormonales y mutilaciones, como si un menor de 5 años pudiera prestar.
I definitely am glad he's calling out treatment on kids. I don't know what in the world made we think we should do this to kids. It's absolutely ridiculous. What's the situation with that in Argentina?
There was one case that was very important, that 2 women have a kid, and there was this kid was treated very bad, and till he was murdered. Yeah. And yes, that there was some things with that. So yes, we have some problems with that.
We're not talking about kids wanting to dye their hair, or kids wanting to get an earring, or kids wanting to even get a tattoo. Those are all things that can be pretty easily reversed and changed back, and you'll forget that it ever happened. We're talking about things that can be can cause lasting effects that will permanently affect their lives. I mean, there's a big difference here. How the law deals with kids is very complicated. I mean, we don't let kids buy beer or alcohol. We don't let them buy cigarettes. So it's just,
Yes, it's very difficult the treatment that law can have with kids because they they cannot take their own decisions consciously because they are kids. So sometimes they do what justice decides, and that's difficult because sometimes kids doesn't want that, or if or then when they are grown up they see they see their history and they wouldn't elect that way of living. But I don't know. It depends on what justice said, and that is not justice
Yes.
for people, for the children. They cannot get their own elections sometimes in
Yeah,
life.
certainly.
And
Yeah. Okay, we got to keep going here. We still got 14 minutes left. Yeah.
Prestar su consentimiento a semejante cosa. Y si ocurriera que su familia no está de acuerdo, siempre habrá agentes del Estado dispuestos a interceder en favor de lo que ellos llaman el interés del menor. Créanme que los escandalosos experimentos que hoy se realizan en nombre de esta ideología criminal serán condenados y comparados con aquellos ocurridos durante las épocas más oscuras de nuestra historia. Y cubriendo esta multitud de prácticas abyectas está el eterno victimismo, siempre dispuesto a disparar acusaciones de homofobia, transfobia y otros inventos cuyo único propósito es intentar callar a quienes denuncian este escándalo de que las autoridades nacionales e internacionales son cómplices. Por otro lado, en nuestras empresas, instituciones públicas y casas de estudios, el mérito fue dejado de lado por la doctrina de la diversidad, que implica un retroceso hacia los sistemas nobiliarios de antaño. Se inventan cupos para cuanta minoría se le ocurra a los políticos, que lo único que hacen es atentar contra la excelencia de esas instituciones. El wokismo también ha distorsionado la causa de la inmigración. La libre circulación de bienes y personas están en los fundamentos del liberalismo. Lo sabemos bien. Argentina, los Estados Unidos y muchos otros países se hicieron grandes por aquellos inmigrantes que dejaron sus tierras de origen en busca de nuevas oportunidades. Sin embargo, de intentar atraer el talento extranjero para promover el desarrollo, hemos pasado a la inmigración masiva motivada no desde el interés nacional, sino desde la culpa. Como Occidente es la supuesta causa de todos los males de la historia, debe redimirse abriendo sus fronteras a todo el mundo, culminando necesariamente en una colonización inversa que se asemeja al suicidio colectivo. Así es como vemos hoy en las imágenes de hordas de inmigrantes que abusan, violan o matan a ciudadanos europeos que solo cometieron el pecado de no haber adherido a una religión en particular. Pero cuando uno cuestiona estas situaciones, es tildado de racista, xenófobo o nazi.
He's now talking about immigrants in Europe mostly and of course he's probably speaking mostly a European audience, but
yes, and about terrorism too.
Yeah,
But
well,
what he's not telling is what is Europe doing with the traffic of arms, you know, because they sell a lot of weapons and arms and everything for the war in Western and in East. And he's only telling what is happening in Europe, and I think the European people has to tell their governments not to sell arms to the places that are in war, because they are part of that.
Yeah. Well, there's also the thing, you know, with some crime happening and you know, the other thing though, Europeans, all the same with Argentina, aren't really allowed to defend themselves against criminals.
Yes. I don't know how it works in the United States, because we are not accustomed to have arms in our home. So it can be strange people having arms, because I don't know if they are conscious with that. Maybe they start killing each other.
Yeah.
El wokismo ha calado tan profundamente en nuestras sociedades, promovido por instituciones como esta, que se ha llegado incluso a cuestionar la idea misma de sexo a través de la nefasta ideología de género. Esto ha derivado en todavía mayor intervención estatal mediante legislación absurda, como el que el Estado tiene que financiar hormonas y cirugías millonarias para cumplir con la autopercepción de ciertos individuos. Recién hoy estamos viendo los efectos de toda una generación que mutiló su cuerpo, promovidos por una cultura de la relatividad sexual, que tendrá que pasar su vida entera en tratamiento psiquiátrico para afrontar lo que se hicieron, pero nadie nada dice de estas cuestiones. No solo eso, también han sometido a la inmensa mayoría a ser esclavos de las equivocadas autopercepciones de una diminuta mayoría. Y además, el wokismo pretende secuestrar nuestro futuro. Porque al
What exactly is he referring to here? He's talking.
Maybe you don't know, but in Europe and in other places, in other countries, they allow kids, children that to have hormones treatment, not to be women or not to be man or changing their hormones, and they can do it when they are children. And what he's telling is these children doesn't know what they are doing to themselves, and there is some people promoting this kind of things, and I think that is awful, because these children then grows and then they can change what they do when they were children and they didn't have the maturity enough to know what was going to happen in their life.
Yes. Okay.
Minar las cátedras de las universidades más prestigiosas del mundo está formando las élites de nuestros países para impugnar y negar la cultura, las ideas y los valores que nos hicieron grandes, lesionando aún más nuestro tejido social. ¿Qué nos queda para el futuro si estamos enseñándoles a nuestros jóvenes a sentir vergüenza por nuestro pasado? Todo esto se incubó y desarrolló de forma cada vez más notoria durante las últimas décadas, después de la caída del muro de Berlín. Curiosamente, los países libres empezaron a autodestruir cuando se quedaron sin adversarios por derrotar. La paz nos volvió débiles, fuimos derrotados por nuestra propia complacencia. Todas estas y otras aberraciones.
This is interesting. He's talking about the fall of the Berlin Wall, and that made the West weak. In some respects, I do think the West got lazy after the Berlin Wall fell. We were less vigilant. I mean, I saw the Berlin Wall fall, and I didn't think we'd still be fighting socialists now, and none of us did.
Yes, in that moment, some Latin American countries had these dictatorships, governments, and there was war inside the countries too, civil wars. And I think after the 80s, in the 90s, people doesn't want to continue with the war, because some countries and the society has suffered so much that they stop the war, the ideological war, and in that moment, this organization took all the ideas that can make the poorer or the more vulnerable people be with them. But the most of the normal people, most of the worker people, the regular people that live normal, they don't want more war, because they have lost some sons, parents, I don't know, husband, because there was much war, a lot of war in last century.
Yes.
Que por cuestiones de tiempo no podemos enumerar, son las que hoy amenazan a Occidente, y son lamentablemente las creencias que instituciones como esta han promovido durante 40 años. Aquí nadie se puede hacer el inocente. Le han rendido culto por décadas a una ideología siniestra y asesina como si se tratara de un becerro de oro, y han movido cielo y tierra para imponerle sobre la humanidad. Esta misma organización y también los organismos supranacionales más influyentes han sido ideólogos de esta barbarie, Los organismos multilaterales de crédito han sido un brazo extorsivo y muchos estados nacionales, y en particular la Unión Europea, han sido y son un brazo armado. ¿O acaso en Reino Unido hoy mismo no están encarcelando a ciudadanos por revelar crímenes aberrantes, realmente espantosos, cometidos por migrantes musulmanes que el gobierno quiere ocultar? ¿O acaso los burócratas de Bruselas no suspendieron las elecciones de Rumania simplemente porque no les gustó qué partido había ganado? Frente a cada una de estas discusiones, el wokismo intenta desacreditar.
He's talking about how Brussels, the bureaucrats in Brussels, suspended the Romanian election. I've been wondering about that for a while. I'd really like to get somebody from Romania on here to talk about it. You know anything about that, Maria?
No, I don't know about that. It's far away from my home.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't sure. I've been asking around about trying to get somebody from Romania on this show. If any of my listeners know of anybody, send them my way. Thanks.
A quienes cuestionen estas cosas, primero
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Quitándonos para luego censurarnos. Si somos blancos, debe ser racista. Si sos hombre, debes ser misógino o miembro del patriarcado. Si sos rico, debes ser un cruel capitalista. Si sos heterosexual, debes ser heteronormativo, homofóbico o transfóbico. Para cada cuestionamiento tienen una etiqueta que luego intentan censurar por vías de facto o de jure. Porque debajo del discurso de la diversidad y de la democracia y de la tolerancia que dicen esgrimir, lo que en verdad se esconde es el deseo manifiesto de destruir la disonancia, la crítica y, en esencia, la libertad para seguir sosteniendo un modelo del cual ellos son los principales beneficiarios. ¿O acaso no escuchamos estos días cómo ciertas autoridades europeas importantes, bastante rojitas, por decirlo de alguna manera, digamos, llaman abiertamente a la censura? O que en realidad no hay censura, pero sí hay que callar a los que piensan distinto a la ideología woke. ¿Y qué clase de sociedad puede resultar del wokismo? Una sociedad que reemplazó el libre intercambio de bienes y servicios por la distribución arbitraria de la riqueza a punta de pistola. Reemplazó las comunidades libres por la colectivización forzada. Reemplazó el caos creativo del mercado por el orden estéril y esclerótico del socialismo. Una sociedad llena de resentimiento, donde hay solo dos tipos de personas, quienes son pagadores netos de impuestos por un lado y quienes son beneficiarios del Estado por otro. Y no me refiero con esto a quienes reciben asistencia social porque no tienen para comer. Hablo de las corporaciones privilegiadas, hablo de los banqueros que fueron rescatados en la crisis subprime, de la mayoría de los medios de comunicación, de los centros de adoctrinamiento disfrazados de universidades, de la burocracia estatal, de los sindicatos, de las organizaciones sociales, de las empresas.
He's calling out the universities and he's calling out bankers who were bailed out. Good.
Yes, and he's telling that that we don't have to shut down. We have to talk. We have to say what we think, because the only one that is winning in this is the big state that is going with all through this idea of that they have to distribute all the production and everything, because there is no justice in free market.
Yes, there is justice in free markets, yes.
Prebendarias del Estado y de todos los sectores que viven de los impuestos que pagan los que trabajan. Hablo del mundo que describe Ayn Rand en La rebelión de Atlas, que lamentablemente se ha materializado. Un esquema donde el gran ganador es la clase política, que se convierte a su vez en árbitro y parte interesada de esta repartija. Lo repito, la clase política es árbitro y parte interesada en esta repartija. Y como siempre, el que reparte se lleva la mejor parte. Donde por debajo de diferencias cosméticas entre los distintos partidos se comparten intereses, socios, arreglos y un compromiso inalterable con que nada cambie, porque eso los llamó a todos ellos el partido del Estado. Un sistema que se esconde detrás de discursos bien pensantes donde, según ellos, el mercado falla y son ellos los encargados de solucionar dichas fallas con regulaciones, fuerza y burocracia. Pero no existen las fallas de mercado, lo repito nuevamente, no existen las fallas de mercado. dado que el mercado es un mecanismo de cooperación social donde se intercambian voluntariamente derechos de propiedad. Las supuestas fallas de mercado son una contradicción en sus propios términos. Lo único que genera esa intervención son nuevas distorsiones en el sistema de precios, lo que a su vez entorpece el cálculo económico, el ahorro y la inversión y por ende a la postre terminan generando más pobreza o una maraña inmunda de regulaciones, por ejemplo, como la que existe en Europa, matando el crecimiento económico. Como suelo decir en mis ponencias, si usted considera que existe una falla de mercado, vaya y revise si no está el Estado metido en el medio. Y si encuentra que no, haga de nuevo el análisis porque está mal.
I love it when he says there are no market failures. I never thought of that, but he's exactly right.
Yes, and sometimes the argumentation or what they argue about is that that something is going wrong with the market and with the free market. And he always said, if there is something wrong in the market, you have to go and see if there is a government doing something in that market. If not, people is doing what they want with liberty, so that the market is okay.
Yes.
Por eso mismo, como el wokismo no es ni más ni menos que un plan sistemático del Partido del Estado para justificar la intervención estatal y el aumento del gasto público, esto quiere decir que nuestra primera cruzada, la más importante si queremos recuperar el occidente del progreso, si queremos construir una nueva época de oro, tiene que ser la reducción drástica del tamaño del Estado. No solo en cada uno de nuestros países, sino también la reducción drástica de todos los organismos supranacionales. Porque es la única forma de cortar de cuajo con este sistema perverso, drenándole los recursos, para devolver al pagador de impuestos lo que es suyo y terminar con la venta de favores. No hay mejor método que eliminar la burocracia estatal para que no exista la posibilidad de vender dichos favores. Las funciones del Estado deben limitarse nuevamente a la defensa del derecho a la vida, a la libertad y a la propiedad. Cualquier otra función que el Estado se arrogue será en detrimento de su tarea fundamental y culminará inexorablemente en el leviatán omnipresente que hoy todos padecemos. Hoy asistimos a un agotamiento global de este sistema que nos dominó las últimas décadas. Así como sucedió en Argentina, en el resto del mundo se está acentuando el único conflicto relevante de este siglo y de todos los que ya pasaron, el conflicto entre los ciudadanos libres y la casta política que se aferra al orden establecido, redoblando sus esfuerzos de censura, persecución y destrucción. Por fortuna, en todo el mundo libre hay una mayoría silenciada que se está organizando, y en todos los rincones de nuestro hemisferio resuena el eco de este grito de libertad. Estamos frente a un cambio de época, un giro copernicano, la destrucción de un paradigma y la construcción de otro. Y si las instituciones influencian global como esta casa quiere pasar de página y participar de buena fe de este nuevo paradigma, tendrá que hacerse responsable del papel que jugaron en estas últimas décadas y reconocer ante la sociedad el mea culpa que se les reclama. Para cerrar, quiero hablarle directamente a los líderes del mundo, a todos aquellos que conducen tantos estados nacionales como grandes grupos económicos y organismos internacionales, tanto los aquí presentes como los que no están escuchando desde sus casas. Las fórmulas políticas de las últimas décadas que he expuesto en este discurso han fracasado y están colapsando sobre sí mismas. Eso quiere decir que pensar como piensan todos, leer lo que leen todos, decir lo que dicen todos, solo puede conducir al error, aunque aún haya muchos que persistan en caminar hacia el precipicio. El guión de los últimos 40 años se ha agotado, y cuando un sistema se agota, la historia se abre. Por eso, a todos los líderes globales les digo, es momento de salir de ese guión, es momento de ser audaces, es momento de animarse a pensar y de animarse a escribir versos propios. Porque cuando las ideas y los textos del presente dicen todo lo mismo y dicen cosas equivocadas, ser valiente consiste justamente en ser extemporáneo. Consiste en volver hacia atrás, en no dejarse encandilar por los pasajeros perdiendo de vista lo universal. Consiste en recuperar verdades que para nuestros antecedentes eran obvias y que están en la base del éxito civilizatorio que ha sido Occidente. pero que el régimen del pensamiento único de las últimas décadas persiguió como si fueran herejías. Como dijo alguna vez Churchill, cuanto más para atrás miremos, más lejos podremos ver hacia adelante. Es decir, tenemos que...
Churchill, the further we look back, the further we can see forward. I've not heard that phrase.
It's very important what Milei is talking now, because he has criticized many things about the state, about the organization, about the speech of these organizations. But now he is looking forward, and he put on the table what is his proposal, what is the thing that he wants to transmit to the people. And it is that many years in some countries like Latin countries or Argentina, this organization, mostly the government that wants to be more powerful, and the people that was in the government, the politicians that wants to be perpetuated in the politics and in the governments, and have all the money that and all the power that the government can give them, make this confrontation and this war between the people, the labor people, the people that is working every day, with the people that is maintained by the state. And these people that want to progress in life and want to work and have to pay all this money to the state, has been shut down by the state, and now they have the opportunity to start speaking about liberty, about justice, about work, about taxes that they are paying, lots of taxes that they are paying, mostly in these places and in Argentina. And Milei's proposed something different, where the state is smaller and the people that work every day and they have their business and they do all their effort to progress in life, don't have to give so much of their effort to sustain a government and politicians that wants to perpetuate their in the government and have all the power that these places, the political, can give them.
Yes. Yeah. He's definitely coming back to where, they're coming back to his roots, and we're just, we need to be pro freedom to advance. We got 2 minutes left. Yeah.
Que reencontrarnos con verdades olvidadas de nuestro pasado para desatar el nudo del presente y dar el próximo paso adelante como civilización hacia el futuro. ¿Y qué veo cuando miro para atrás? Que tenemos que abrazar una vez más las últimas tesis comprobadas de éxito económico y social, es decir, el modelo de la libertad, volver a abrazar las ideas de la libertad, volver al liberalismo. Eso es lo que estamos haciendo en Argentina. Eso es lo que confío que el presidente Trump hará en esta nueva Norteamérica. Y es lo que invitamos a hacer todas las grandes naciones del mundo, libres, y pretenden frenar a tiempo lo que a todas las luces es un sendero que conduce a la catástrofe. En definitiva, lo que les estoy proponiendo es que hagamos a Occidente grande nuevamente. Hoy, al igual que hace 215 años, la Argentina ha roto sus cadenas y los invita, como dice nuestro himno, a todos los mortales del mundo a oír el grito sagrado: libertad, libertad, libertad. Que la fuerza del cielo nos acompañen. Muchísimas gracias a todos y ¡viva la libertad, carajo!
Yeah, he always finishes off with "Viva la libertad, carajo." Yeah, that's
Yes, in our country song, the hymns, I don't know how you
Yes.
say.
Hymns, anthems. Yes.
Yes, we say liberty, liberty, liberty in one part.
Yeah, hymns are usually religious songs, but yes, that's yeah.
Some kind of, yes.
crowd seems rather quiet, although it's not a very big room.
Yes, I don't know. You think that they are quiet?
Gracias, presidente. Como usted
It
sabe,
doesn't seem as loud as other audiences he's spoken to.
Because it's very difficult that when someone goes up and tells all these things to the people, and mostly the most powerful people, that they are winning in some way with some of all the stuff that Milei told. Maybe they don't agree with this speech, but Milei is telling them that the things that they have been doing, all the world is knowing what they are doing to have more power. Some of the people in the audience, I don't think they like what Milei said.
And I don't know what Trump's going to do in America. If Trump was in Argentina, he would be a Peronist. Not sure what kind he would be, but he's not. I mean, he's trying to erect some trade barriers, but he's very much it's very hard to predict what Trump is going to do. So I don't know if there's anything left to see here, but we'll see. Yeah.
presidente, y como todos saben, esta es una plataforma abierta, libre, y agradecemos mucho sus conceptos y su presentación. Gracias, presidente.
For example, these women, it seems that she doesn't like what Milei told about that. What Milei say in his speech.
Well, I don't even know if that woman's a native speaker of Spanish or anything.
Yes, I think he's Mexican because of the tone voice.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there could be well, she speaks Spanish too then. So, it's I think he was speaking to people. He knew he was speaking to people who weren't friends, and it seems like he was trying to rally people with him who might take his side against the World Economic Forum. It's telling that Argentina pulled out of the World Health Organization recently, and some other organizations that don't seem to be serving, only seem to be serving themselves.
I really think there is coherence. He's coherent with the way he thinks and the way he's acting. He really thinks what he's talking about. He thinks that, and this speech is the same speech he had 10 years ago. So there is nothing new in what he's saying. He really thinks this way, and he really thinks that liberty and freedom and the rights of life, property, and liberalism are the ones that are the best for the world. And in that way, there are some things that we have. We are watching as normal, and he says that they are not normal, as some things like the hormones for children, that is not right. And I think that nobody else says this kind of things. So for us, it's very strange to hear these things. It might offend people, it might offend gays or some group of people, because it seems that he's going against them, but I don't really think that is what he's doing. He's going against the corporations, the organization, the people that is winning with all this speech.
Yeah, it seems like to me he was trying to rally people on the right to, but I'm not sure what, because I don't think these people, a lot of these people don't really share his free market agenda. They just want to rig the market in a different way. I found people who believe in the free market are very rare.
Maybe, yes,
yeah,
for sure.
What else do you think's been going on down there? What do you think you have to say about some of the victories? I mean, economic growth. It seems like things are going quite well for Argentina right now. So,
yes, the most important thing that is he's doing what he proposed when he was elected. He's he make our economy going through a better path. We have less inflation. Dollar is more have more stability than before. We have a little more open our barriers to the world. We are more introduced to the world that we were before. We have more relationships with other countries and more commerce. And he's trying and he's doing some good job reducing taxes. That is a big problem in Argentina because we have lots of taxes. And in the whole economy, he's doing a good job. But he's going on a cultural fight too. In Latin America, we have this like how do you say in Spanish? We say populism. That yes, that government try to make people live by the government. You know, the state is a huge state and is always having more debt from FMA or other countries, and it's difficult to grow in that way because the expenses of the state are so big that they cannot progress, and markets are really not free markets. The state is everywhere.
certainly, yes. I saw there were some protests and other things down there. What was going on with those? Do you think? I mean, I don't know if this is really going to lead to anything, but it might inspire.
Yes, when there are so big changes, and when some people that was having money or getting money from the government, and then the government don't give you that money, obviously that there will be people that are not happy with that. But it's something normal, something that was going to happen, because there are still people that think that government has to have to give them money to work or to do some stuff. And what Milei proposes, do it by yourself in a free market, do it privately, but don't ask more money to the government, because that money is from the people, and Argentina cannot progress if the state still gives money to many organizations.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, a lot of these organizations just they seem to just take money in and support a lavish lifestyle for other people. It sounds like you probably got to go. Do you have anything you want to say before we go?
I think that sometimes we take the bad parts or the difficult parts of this speech, but we have to see the whole thing, that Milei has two wars, two fights, and one is the economic fight, where he says that the government has to make a smaller state, that we don't have to depend on the state and on the distribution on the state, but we have a cultural fight that where there are some values that are broken because of some interest of big organization. There we can take some things that we like, we don't like, that we agree and we don't, but there are some things that we are not seeing, or we are not speaking loud about things that are happening, really happening. And that when we see that things, we have to speak loud, and we have to find the space where we can talk about these kind of things. I agree with Sam on with this cultural fight too, because I don't know what happens in the United States, but in Latin America we have changed a lot of values that maybe in the future we will see back, and we will say why we agree with that kind of behaviors.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things to unwrap here. As I've gotten to I think I understand the left more. They're so. It's all about finding people to use to fight capitalism, and whatever they can go from there. And they find their people who will be their foot soldiers, and then they'll throw those soldiers away when they don't need them anymore. So, yes, thank you for coming on, Maria. Where can we find you out there? You're on Twitter.
Not Twitter, because I have Twitter, but I don't use it anymore. But I am on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. So
yeah, certainly, yes. If you want to send me links, and of course, I always connect with you on WhatsApp. Well, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, go buy my novel Escape from the Village. People are donating at Buy Me a Coffee, and check out my Substack. Thank you, Maria Lobo Murga. I'm Chris Baker. We're out. Buy my novel, Escape from the Village, from major booksellers online. Go to escapevillage.com. Subscribe to the Substack. Go to fountainheadforum.substack.com. Support the forum. Go to buymeacoffee.com/fountainheadforum. Thank you.